Enjoy the convenience of 7 days a week banking and extended hours with Cube from First Arkansas Bank and Trust. Member FDIC. It's time for From the Short Grass with Trey Schaap, a golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around trying to put it in a 4 1/4 inch diameter hole. From the Short Grass is brought to you by Blackman Auctions. For over 80 years, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. By MinnowsPlus.com. From baits to waders, if it helps you catch a fish, they have it. And now, from the Short Grass, here is your host, Trey Schaap.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of From the Short Grass. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. There's a lot to be thankful for, and I hope you got to spend it with your loved ones. Coming up in this episode, I traveled to Fayetteville, Arkansas back in the summer to sit down with head women's basketball coach Mike Neighbors. He has an interesting story that you'll hear right off the top of this interview about how he made a birdie on a par 5 with one club in his bag. I want to thank one of our great sponsors, Minnows Plus. Find them on the web at minnowsplus.com. They have airflow meters, air pumps, nets, scales, thermometers, all right there on their website. The bait tank supplies that you need, you can find them at minnowsplus.com. We're back with Mike Neighbors after this.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. Trey asked me to sponsor a show for another few months. Even though I don't like golf, I do like a show. I have no idea how he gets the awesome variety of guests on his show, but it is entertaining and informative even for a horrible golfer like myself. I'm learning a lot about the game and about the passion for playing. So much so, I've started using my country club for more than Sunday brunch. Trey makes golf interesting, I make auctions interesting. For auctions, listen to me. For golf, listen to Trey. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Minnows Plus is your local source for live bait and live well supplies. They carry the entire line of SureLife products, everything from better bait and finer shiner to no ammonia products to keep your bait and your catch thriving till you get back to the dock. They are the best source for all your private land ponds. Minnows Plus has fish food and pond fertilizer to keep your pond healthy and thriving all year long. If you own or run a bait and tackle shop and need to resupply, contact Minnows Plus and ask about their wholesale prices. Open to the public and walk-ins are welcome. Find them on the web at minnowsplus.com.
Welcome back to From the Short Grass. On the tee, women's basketball head coach at the University of Arkansas, Mike Neighbors.
Coach Neighbors, thanks for joining us on From the Short Grass.
I love it. I'm not there very often, though.
Well, you are today.
I'm more of a punch-out from the rough guy.
Yeah, real quick.
Okay.
I mean, before we even got started, you were telling me this story about you playing Lost Springs Golf and Athletic Club up in Rogers. And you made a birdie on number 14, which is a par 5, dogleg left, 2 bunkers down in the fairway that you have to navigate, and you used a driver on every shot, and you had a whiff.
It just keeps getting better. Absolute fact. I got 3 of my best buddies of all time can corroborate the story. Not a golf story that everybody makes up or embellishes. You pretty much nailed it. I hit a decent drive off the tee, and like you taught, you got to kind of navigate a couple of bunkers and little trees on both sides there. And you got out of bounds on the left. I hit a good drive, but it just trickled into the rough, past the bunker, on the right over there. And so, I'm not hitting it very far, so I'm used to having to hit driver off the deck. It's a pretty good shot. My buddies will tell you that one of my better shots is my elite game is punch out. You know, my punch out game is elite. So I'm going to take driver off the deck, and I take a big cut. I still got like 225 to the front edge of that. I got to hit it pretty good. I'm in the rough, so I take a big old hack at it. We're playing a 4-ball. My buddy hit a pretty good one, so I got a little bit of confidence. And when I take it back, I get through it, and I completely whiff. I mean, just go completely under the ball. And everybody kind of looked at me, and they gave me a chance. You know, you always give your buddies a chance to say practice swing. But I couldn't because I don't take practice swings. I play really fast. I never take a practice swing, so I couldn't lie.
I love that. You play fast.
I do. I play incredibly fast. Everybody will tell you. Anybody that ever plays with me says one thing about that guy is he plays fast. So I whiff. And I look around, and everybody's kind of laughing at me, and I'm like, well, you know, my buddy's got one up there, so now I don't have any other choice but to try to do it again. Well, the whiff actually settled the ball down a little bit lower, and I hit it. I mean, I hit it as good as you could hit it. And it bounces up on the front. Well, by this time, nobody's watching because they think I'm out of the hole, and I hit it good. So I don't say a word, and we pull up to the green, and that sucker's about 2 inches from the hole. I mean, it had to have taken a peek at it even for birdie. I mean, for eagle. For eagle. And we get up there, so I know I'm close, so I grab my putter, and I'm walking out, and I go, no. I want this story to be even better. So I put the putter back in the bag, and I grab driver. And, of course, they're telling me that's a kick. And I said, oh, no. I'm putting this out. Walk up, tap it in, 4 drivers with a whiff, birdie story for that I'll tell till they put me in a box someday.
Just think if you would have hit it on the first time from the rough.
I know. It would have been an eagle.
Maybe a double eagle if it rolls one more revolution, or at least at worst an eagle.
I know, but it doesn't. The story's not as good. The story's better with the whiff.
Yeah.
And everything. 'Cause there's a lot of people birdie that. A lot of people eagle that hole.
Yeah.
But have you ever done it with a whiff?
No.
I may be in pretty elite company when it comes to
I think you are.
Because most people don't whiff, period. So
You're in elite company by yourself anyway. I mean, you don't have to worry about that.
It's got to be something like that. Got to be something like that.
Boy, this season, it was ups and downs, highs and lows.
Yeah.
And my gosh. I mean,
COVID year,
but right across the street here, Bud Walton Arena, where you had 2 good games. And
yeah.
My wife told me, don't mention the fact that my Baylor Bears, that he beat them. But, Coach Neighbors, I'm sorry, I have to. Congratulations.
Okay.
You beat Baylor, the number 4 team in the country at the time. And
yeah, there's a little picture of it up there on the wall.
And then COVID year, you get UConn in here.
Yeah, how about that? That was a crazy thing to do. But as you're talking about, Bud Walton there, for a Razorback guy like me to walk in and have that your view every day, it's pretty cool to see all that. And then just to be able to have, a good home crowd. Even we sold both those games out. The max capacity that you could put in there during the COVID year. And, of course, this year's always going to be that what if. I think we probably could have broken some attendance records. I've been teasing Coach Blair about that. I think we could have on those games. But 2 great games for us. The Baylor one came up because it's part of the SEC Big 12 Challenge. And there's a story behind most everything we do, obviously. But we were in a room at the SEC meeting, and we were supposed to not even play in the SEC Challenge. It was our turn to be out. Well, Baylor didn't have an opponent, and nobody was really jumping up and volunteering to take them. And so I don't know what I was thinking, but I said, we'll play them. I mean, we're not. But if nobody else wants to play them, we'll play them.
You were probably thinking about Stinky's Fish Camp or something down there.
I don't know what I was thinking about.
Seegers.
I knew, but I knew it was going to be a home. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. You're talking about in Destin. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I probably was thinking about getting to dinner at Seegers. But instead, we said, we'll play them. Because I knew we had a good team. I wanted to get a good home crowd. I knew we were having a hard time getting home games. So, there we end up with Baylor, and it worked out great and was just a tremendous atmosphere, good matchup for us. And we couldn't probably have played much better. And then the whole, like you said, the COVID year when we were on the plane going to South Carolina. We get the tech when we land. Everybody turns their phones on. You know how that is, and you get caught up from the hour and a half that you've been out of service.
Right.
And we're all looking around, going, "Hey, did you see this? Vanderbilt checked it in, And we're supposed to play them the next Thursday. Okay. So we're sitting there going, well, now we've got an open date. What do we do? And we'd been talking all year long about, hey, this is coming. It's just a matter of time before either us or one of our opponents gets hit with a false positive or a positive or whatever. And sure enough, that worked. So we'd had this little group of coaches, just a text message group. Hey, we got canceled. Do y'all want to play? Hey, we got a game. You got about 12 or 13. And Coach was one of those, and we knew UConn was looking for a game. And I knew we had to operate. We had to get it quick because it was coming up quick to fill that game. And our players had always said, just get the best team we can find. Well, I didn't know how serious they were about that. So on the way, the bus ride from the airport we were going to play South Carolina, who's like number 3 in the country at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, y'all all see on your social media, Vanderbilt season's over. Do y'all still really want to fill it with the best team we can find? And they're like, absolutely. I said, y'all don't care who or where, as long as it fits into our schedule and makes sense and won't hurt our chances of winning a league game. I said, yeah, Coach, we trust you. Just find whoever you can play. So Coach Schaefer and I looked at each other. We had the guy's phone number from UConn, and we sent an email. And before we even got to the arena, the game was set.
Wow.
It took 20 minutes. Hey, y'all, you really want to play? Yeah. Well, you got Kristen Williams. She's from Little Rock. Y'all were coming to Little Rock anyway. They were going to play Coach Foley. They were going to play in Little Rock, but that got canceled because of COVID. So I knew they had some desire to bring Kristen home, and I thought, well, let's see if they'll play us here. And sure enough, they said, yeah, we'll come down. and got it done. And then, the next, I guess it was 10 days in between us setting it and actually playing. The next 9 days was a whole lot of, what were we thinking? We just scheduled UConn. Hunter's not lying. When I called Hunter, I said, hey, just let you know we got a game to fill that in. He goes, oh, cool, did you get it? I said, UConn. He said, huh? He said, the Huskies? I said, yeah.
Yeah,
He
those
said,
Huskies.
He said, serious? I said, yeah. I said, it's going to work out. We're going to be great. It's going to be an awesome crowd, and we're going to play great. He said, okay. And we did. It just did. And the story helps embellish it, I know, but the game we probably couldn't have played much better.
How cool is it to have an AD like that? That is just like,
bring it.
Really? Okay, cool. Now bring it.
That's him, man. I'm telling you, you don't have to spend very long with him to know that he is a fierce competitor. And I think it's why we've had the year that we've had as a sports program during COVID.
Pretty dadgum good.
His leadership has been, between he and Greg Sankey and everybody at the SEC, man, we were on top of. We had the best information. We had timely information. We were able to impart that to our kids, our families, and we stayed. We didn't miss a game. We didn't miss one game. We played more games than anybody in the country, and that was a goal we had. So, but like to your point, to have an AD who says beat the best to be the best, and get them here if you can, and we're going to support you, and they do it. It is why. We had the year that we had in every sport because of the leadership. We've had a lot of great pieces. There's no question about it. You can have that conversation. There's been a lot of – but this person knows how to take those pieces and make it into a puzzle better than anybody I've been around.
Let's talk a little golf. When did you first pick up the game? Take me back, if you will.
The summer between my 9th and 10th grade year.
Greenwood, Arkansas?
Greenwood, America. Greenwood, America. I grew up without a father. I was raised by my mother and grandmother and aunts, but I had a lot of really good uncles, really, really good uncles, who kind of was an amalgam of my father figure for me. I got a stepdad in 6th grade, and so he was an uncle too before, which is another complete podcast. We could go for an hour about my uncle becoming my stepdad.
Oh boy.
Okay, so there's an Arkansas joke waiting to happen, but
that's a totally different podcast.
That's a different podcast, but it's a true statement. But so I had this amalgam of all these uncles. So I tell you that to tell you because there were 2 uncles that were. One thought he could get me better at tennis, and the other thought he could get me better at golf. In a summer. I was at that weird age where I wasn't old enough to drive. My mom worked. I was a latchkey kid. She worked from 6 in the morning until 6 at night. So I grew up in somebody else's backyards. And they basically, these 2 uncles said, well, and I didn't really know this was going on until later in life, but they weren't going to let me play basketball. You can't play basketball and baseball your whole life. And they were right. They said these are 2 lifelong sports that you need to pick up, and we think you could get pretty good at them. It was actually between 8th and 9th grade. I take that back. It was between 8th and 9th grade because I could have driven the other way. Between 8th and 9th grade. So the uncle that wanted me to play tennis, that he would come get me, and I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that, hey, these uncles are wanting me to take and learn these new sports. They're cool. And I got pretty good at tennis, but the uncle that wanted me to play golf brought me out to Vash Grass Country Club in Greenwood, Arkansas. And if anybody that's ever played that place, it's gotten to be real good. The people that take care of it now down there, Rick Thrift and those guys down there, they do a really good job. The course is in good shape. Mm-hmm. It wasn't so true back in the mid-'80s.
Right.
Tremendous difference between the front 9 and the back 9 because of the amount of grass that was able to grow. If anybody follows the Club Pro guy, our course looked a lot like Three Jack. the pictures of
Three Jack National.
3 Jack National. They looked a lot like that.
You didn't have a supermarket parking lot in the way
quite,
though.
But man, there's some other good stories. We could do a podcast on the Vash. So we went out there, and that summer was the first time I teed a ball up. Was on a course. I never went to a driving range, never went in the backyard. Okay. The first time was literally on a course. And here's the rules of the game, and don't cheat. Whatever you do, don't cheat. Shoot your score. Don't cheat. Don't lie. Play by the rules. Now, we did have to play it up. There's no playing the ball.
Couldn't play it down there.
There's no chance of playing the ball down. So I've still got a bad habit of rolling it a little bit, and I can get away from that when we get on a good course that's worthy of playing it down. But so I played 9 holes the summer between my 8th and 9th grade year, probably 5 or 6 times a week. And what we would do, they'd take me out, drop me off, play 9. We'd swim for a little while. He'd come back out, and we'd play maybe 9 more, and Mom would come pick me up. That's when the bug started. I was a baseball player trying to learn to hit a golf ball, and those 2 things don't go so very well together.
Or at least they don't think. The baseball coaches don't want you to be playing golf.
Well, I can tell you, I'm just going to use it as an excuse that I was a baseball player before because I still hit a little slice, power fade. But anyway, long story short, that was the first summer. I still play golf. I don't still play tennis. So my Uncle Donnie probably won in the long run. I got better at tennis. I actually ended up being the number one seed on our tennis team. So my uncle claimed victory at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't play tennis anymore. So I guess my Uncle Donnie, who's passed now, probably would have been the winner of that deal. So Vashgrass Country Club, playing just with buddies, learning the rules of the game, trying to figure it out.
I spoke to someone today who works for the Arkansas State Golf Association.
Yeah.
Who told me that he sold you your membership to Paradise Valley.
Okay.
When you were here with Coach Blair.
Yeah. Is that who you're talking to, Al?
Tyler.
Oh, talking to Tyler. Yeah, that's true. I came in. I was making $600 a month working for Coach Blair, but I wanted to go out there and be able to play golf with the right people. So about 2/3 of that went to being a membership at Paradise Valley. That was my first place really playing up here at a club.
Yeah.
I played Razorback a whole lot in college.
Yeah.
We played Razorback out there. I wouldn't call what we played out there golf, but we had a blast doing it. But, yeah, Tyler probably was the guy that took my check for my first membership up
What
there.
do you remember about Paradise Valley?
I still think it's the hardest par 71 I've ever played. I mean, it's just you got to have every single shot in the book. And you hit every club, And there's some holes that you can get at. That's where I made my double eagle in my first hole-in-one.
Really? On the same course?
On the same course. I made a hole-in-one in Coach Blair's golf tournament, ironically, on number 2 at Paradise.
Okay. And Nolan Richardson used to live right off the number 2.
He used to live right there. Oh, yeah.
He told me that he was so good at that hole. But then when he got to it in a scramble or something, it part. He couldn't make birdie on it.
He couldn't make birdie. We got up to the tee on that day that I hit, and we couldn't see it was kind of tucked back there on the back right. It's got that little berm there where, depending on where the tees are at. I hit it. It was early high. The morning sun was right there. Nobody really got a good look at it. I hit the ball really high already, but we didn't get a good look at it. We went up and we were trying to find my ball, and we couldn't find it. And we looked over, and there was a lady working in her flower garden, kind of looking out her eyes at me. She goes, "Look in the hole." And
that wasn't Rose, was it?
No. Rose and Coach live back further down. They live closer to the tee box. Yeah.
Gotcha.
This was somebody living in one of those. I think it was their duplexes up there, closer to the. I know that because I've pulled the ball out of bounds over there a few times off that tree.
You might have hit her house before.
It's happened. Yeah, it's happened. But that was the hole-in-one. That was in Coach Blair's golf tournament. And then about 2 weeks later, on number 4, coming back up the hill there.
Right, the par 5.
Par 5, hit a big drive that got snuck past the water on the right. I think it's the cart path, but I'm not going to tell everybody that. But I only had like 165 in and jarred a 7-iron for a double eagle.
Man.
I know. That's so. I've had 2 hole-in-ones now and a double eagle and a bunch of double bogeys on that hole.
But still
got the story.
Awesome.
Yeah,
You've got the story. That's great. Who's better at golf, you or Blair?
Blair. I've beaten him twice, I think, in my life. But he gets in my head. He's that guy for me. I'm never going to be. He's just that
What does he say?
He takes every dime. If I owe him $1.10, he wants the 10. The guy makes $1 million a year, but he wants the dime. It ain't about the money. It's about what it means and what it signifies. So he got in my head. I got him. I had him one time in a coach's shootout. He had, as part of his golf tournament, we had this knockout shootout where we all start on number 1 and we eliminate somebody every hole. And I just brother-in-lawed around, and I was playing good that day, and I didn't bogey the wrong holes. And it ends up being Blair, me and Blair. And it's on a par 3 down there on their old course, and I'd never played the course, and I don't know what to hit. And he told me he misclubbed me. He literally misclubbed me. And
on purpose?
There's no
question.
He
gave you the wrong club.
Zero question in my mind. He completely gave me the wrong club.
Is this at Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Traditions.
No, it's before. This is right when they.
Right before it opened.
This was before he got his national championship and got his Traditions member. We were playing at Pebble Creek.
Okay.
It's a good course, really good course. But there's a par 3 back there, and he misclubbed me, and I hit it long, and I'm up against this fence, and I'm looking at him. He's over there faking like he's on the phone, not going to give me a good ruling because he's got a 2-putt par, and I can't get up and down. He wins the shootout. By the way, I think he won like $40. But I've beaten him once or twice in some matches. Never straight up. I need a couple of pops against him.
Right.
And now he's moved up to the front tees. He's finally hitting off the front tees.
And he still won't give you strokes.
No. He's not giving anybody any strokes. It's not golf.
Have you played Traditions down there with him?
Lots. Many times. Probably a couple hundred. I played there a lot.
I love the fact that everybody down there knows where his house is and knows that on the back porch
Just go pull up.
Go get you a drink out of the fridge.
You know what's going to be there, and it's whether it's a tournament or not tournament. We stayed down there. JC and I were down there at his house, and it kind of freaked her out because she was staying there. She was like, people just kept coming up. She's like, I couldn't be walking around. You look out there, just be random people sitting out on his. But anybody that knows Coach Blair knows that he's never going to lock a door, and everybody's welcome, and he does his best to keep it stocked with enough items for everybody's choices. But yeah, if you hit a good tee ball, you're going to probably lay up. I mean, you have to really smash it to get over the water there or that ravine on number 5. Yeah, number 5. So good golf course, incredibly hard, bring a lot of balls. It's fun in the scramble. I wouldn't want to play it every day though. Boy, it could beat you up.
You've traveled around in your time as a head coach. What about the courses out in Washington, around Seattle?
Great
Obviously,
courses.
Chambers Bay.
Played it the day after the day they allowed it back on the course.
After the U.S. Open.
After the U.S. Open, knew a buddy. They were only letting limited people get on, so the stands were still up. The bleachers they were in the process of taking them down. I was from me to Arden when Dustin 3-jacked on 18.
No way.
Yes, I was. Their daughter's across about 20 feet from here. So we watched them tee off, and then we skipped the second shot. I went every day. I went every practice round day. I was there from sunup to sundown.
You have to.
I loved it. I was single. I didn't have anything better to do. I was there. I followed every practice round. I saw everybody come through. I'm on Saturday. I'm on every shot from 17 because I'm sitting in the right spot. I knew where to set. Everybody, I got thousands. Is that you? I said, that's me. I'll tell you a Bryson DeChambeau story in a second.
Oh, boy.
So, anyway, I'm from here to there when he 3-jacked to lose it. And everybody was going, man, he's going to be devastated. That guy's never going to forget this. I said, wait a second. I looked to my left, and Paulina Gretzky was about 4 people down from me. I said, I think he's going to be all right. And he walked off, walked right to her, gave her a big kiss. They walked off. I said, DJ's going to be fine. Anyway, yes, Chambers Bay's phenomenal. Sahali is amazing, and it's right down the corner there. The Washington Athletic Club, it's one of the hardest courses to get on. Gold Mountain's unbelievable. And then, of course, just down the road, you got Bandon and all those places out there. I think I went over and played in Boise. Played at what's that course called?
Did you ever play the one up close to Spokane into Idaho, Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, with the Island Green.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with Coeur d'Alene. That was the place where I was really embarrassed because I didn't realize the driving range you hit balls into the water. Like I was turned around, I was getting ready to hit. I was like, "Where? I'm supposed to hit back toward the parking lot." I'm like, "This is the narrowest driving range I've ever seen."
Let him go in the water.
The guy goes, "No, hit him out there." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So yeah, I played Coeur d'Alene. I think I played all the tough to get on courses. My golf game has evolved to where I either want to play a great course or with great people. I don't want to play with people I don't know, and I'm not. If it's a bad course, I don't care as long as I'm with great people. But you just got to have 2 of those elements. But the courses in Seattle, because of the mist every morning that you have year round, you can play 340 days a year up there. That's what everybody always says. Didn't you hate Seattle? The weather? I said the weather was the best part. It rained a little bit every day, but then it's like Florida. It's a coastal town. You're gonna get a little rain, but man, when it cleared off, it was going to be between 70 and 75 and just gorgeous and just views.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. Trey asked me to sponsor a show for another few months. Even though I don't like golf, I do like a show. I have no idea how he gets the awesome variety of guests on his show, but it is entertaining and informative even for a horrible golfer like myself. I'm learning a lot about the game and about the passion for playing. So much so, I've started using my country club for more than Sunday brunch. Trey makes golf interesting. I make auctions interesting. For auctions, listen to me. For golf, listen to Trey. Since 1938, Better Auctions or Blackman Auctions.
Minnows Plus is your local source for live bait and live well supplies. They carry the entire line of SureLife products, everything from better bait and finer shiner to no ammonia products to keep your bait and your catch thriving till you get back to the dock. They are the best source for all your private land ponds. Minnows Plus has fish food and pond fertilizer to keep your pond healthy and thriving all year long. If you own or run a bait and tackle shop and need to resupply, contact Minnows Plus and ask about their wholesale prices. Open to the public and walk-ins are welcome. Find them on the web at minnowsplus.com.
Welcome back to From the Short Grass. Now on the tee with our weekly rules segment, it's PGA Master Professional Adam Carney.
Adam playing a hole, and the ball comes to rest on a wooden bridge over a creek. I guess it could be a metal bridge, a concrete bridge, whatever. over a creek. The creek is going to be a penalty area, but that bridge goes over it. Can the ball be played from the bridge?
Absolutely. There's nothing in the rules of golf that state that a player cannot play his ball off of an immovable obstruction, which the bridge is. And I think we did a segment earlier in the year about, playing a ball off an immovable obstruction and relief and that kind of thing. And you can play a ball off an immovable obstruction if you so choose. A cart path, great example. Some players will play a ball off of a cart path because, hey, I have a clear line. If my nearest point of relief is going to put me in these trees and I've got no shot, I'm going to play it off the cart path. Perfectly fine. The penalty area, assuming the creek is a penalty area, yes, you can play the ball off of that. And not only can you play the ball off that, you can soul your club because that bridge is not a part of that penalty area.
Even if it's over it.
It's over it, but the margins of the penalty area do not extend upward, only downward.
Okay, so what if the penalty area, let's say there's paint, and it goes on either side of that bridge?
Correct.
It's still considered not...
Well, I mean, if your ball was laying in the creek and the bridge interfered with it, you could not get relief. You still can't get relief because it's laying within the margin of the hazard, but you can ground your club because...
That's allowed now as well in a penalty area.
Yeah.
Except a bunker.
Right. But you could before as well. You could ground your club on a bridge that was crossing over a penalty area to play your stroke. So it's a good question. Yeah, I mean the root of the question is, can I play my ball off of an immovable obstruction, whether it's a bridge, whether it's a cart path, whether it's
hospitality tent,
whatever. If that would probably be a TIO,
temporary.
But yes, you can. There's no rule that says you must take relief from an immovable obstruction. You can play from it. The player wouldn't be entitled to relief under the circumstances, so he can play it off the bridge, and he at that time can ground the club and play the ball from there.
Have you ever seen any of that in competition?
Tons, lots of times. I'm trying to think of one immediately, but you definitely see. Yeah, I've seen it a couple times on some local golf courses where a ball didn't go into a creek but instead rolled onto a cart path or a wooden bridge over the creek, and they were able to soul their club and hit the shot. I've seen it plenty of times.
I'd rather hit off of a wooden bridge than a concrete bridge. Anyway.
Yeah,
the club's going to make it through a wooden bridge
probably,
as opposed to a concrete cart path or bridge. A lot
probably
better.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you were playing Augusta and your ball comes to rest on number 12 over Hogan's Bridge.
That'd be difficult to do though. As much of an incline as it has.
Yeah, I'd say the folks at Augusta might frown on that a little bit, but
probably
it would be within the rules to play it.
But if you had a ball land on that bridge, you've hit a bad tee shot.
You've done something terribly wrong. No question
Either
about that.
you went long on 11, or you really pulled one on 12 if you're a right-handed golfer.
That's right.
He's Adam Carney. I am Trey Schaap. If you've got a question on the rules of golf, email us at fromtheshortgrass@gmail.com, and we will get it answered.
That will do it for this edition of From the Short Grass. I leave you with this golf quote from Sergio Garcia. If you worry about making bogeys, it makes the game that much more difficult. You put more pressure on yourself without even noticing it. It makes a difference to take it easy when things aren't going right. I hope you have a great next round on the course, and when you find your ball mark on the green, fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you from the short grass.
You've been listening to From the Short Grass, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. From the Short Grass is brought to you by minnowsplus.com, and Blackman Auctions. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.